Hey everybody, thanks for joining us today. This is Jamie Steelman with Team Steelman Mortgage and Give Life for Ryan. We have a special guest in studio today, Mr. Gene Baker with the Red Cross, and I am really excited to have him here. He's going to talk a little bit about our blood drive, the Red Cross in general, and how he's been instrumental in helping us get our blood drive started, maintaining it over these years, and really being such an integral part of us being able to save so many lives and impact so many people. And thank y'all for everything that you do in the community and making this blood drive huge every year. So thank you, Gene, for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and all that fun stuff.
So hi, I'm Gene Baker. I'm with the American Red Cross Blood Services or Biomedical Services. So we're all familiar with the Red Cross. We're the second most popular brand in the world behind Coca-Cola.
Wow.
And so blood services or biomedical services is one of 5 things we do. We of course, humanitarian disaster services. Everyone knows that. Tornadoes, hurricanes, emergency need. Service to the armed forces. It's a very important service of ours where we assist in military families transferring back home, emergency need for military families, assistance and therapy and psychological services for when they return, things like that. Our international division, Red Cross is a global brand. The American Red Cross works with all the other Red Crosses around the world, or Red Crescents, in disaster situations and war zones and things like that. And then finally, our training services, life-saving training services, babysitting services, pet trainings, pet training services, all kind of classroom life-saving services. Those are our 5 life services. Blood is what I do, though. So blood is kind of the engine that supports a lot of those services. So my job is I'm one of 7 of us in the state of Tennessee. And so I'm responsible for probably about a territory that represents about 1 million in population. I'm responsible for the blood collections in that area. It's my job to meet our patient demand and meet my goals, our goals in my territory, to ensure we meet our patient need. So we're just like a sales position with a company. Yeah, it's my quota. I've got to get that blood collected and into into our system for the hospitals and our patients. So with a quota like you were talking about, I bet that number moves all the time with disaster relief. It does. It moves monthly. Our demand, our quotas are based on the need for our hospitals within a population area. So Nashville, the need has increased and increased and increased over the last decade or 2 or 3, obviously. Yeah. Our population has probably doubled in 30 years or 35 years. Yeah. So that's obviously a lot more, increased the demand for blood significantly. It is a challenge to keep up with that demand. Not everybody that moves here is donating blood right away. It takes a while to get acclimated to your community, get settled in, or even think about donating blood. That's the challenge.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about that before. We're in an area where people are moving here just in record numbers and masses, which creates more need because there's more hospital procedures.
They're using the blood, but they ain't giving it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most interesting things that we found over the last 9 years of doing the blood drive is you get all the emails, you see things online about, Red Cross is in urgent need, all that kind of stuff. But when you start to track it a little bit, even just going to the blood center and doing a regular donation like I do, and on the app they have the blood journey to kind of see where it goes and what it's used for, and then talking to some of the people that work in the different centers and that work our blood drive, the hours that they put in, the amount of need that there is it really is that important. And I think everybody's just kind of like, Red Cross, they need blood, people donate blood, that's great, but I mean, you guys need every
day. The need in this country is somewhere in the neighborhood of 29,000 to 30,000 units of blood every single day. Wow. You got to kind of, that's a rough estimate. Yeah. Wrap your mind around that figure day in and day out every day. Doesn't matter if it's Christmas,
Yeah.
or summer vacations, or prom, or the World Series, or the Super Bowl, or Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Wow.
That's still needed.
Yeah.
We need it. So we have to, and it's got a shelf life. So we can't just collect, like in a normal business, you would, well, that demand's going to increase. Let's quadruple our manufacturing and stock it up in the warehouse. It's coming. Blood lasts 42 days. We
can't do that.
We can't store blood like that.
Gotcha.
So,
And you've got the need for multiple types of blood.
Sure.
So, you may have donors that are really strong in this area. And I mean, me and you talked a little bit. I know it gets into a whole different story and levels, but you've got different diseases that attack people. Like we talked about sickle cell when we had lunch recently. And I was just blown away about some of the stuff that you go through with that. And so reaching out to different groups of people, different ethnicities, different, all that kind of stuff, so that you have everyone covered is a lot more than I think people are just like, oh yeah, Red Cross, give blood, saves lives. It goes a lot deeper than that, and it's so vital in so many areas.
Yeah, we do. I mean, for instance, right now there's a type O shortage. So that doesn't mean we don't need A's and B's or negative. We need all blood all the time. But, But there is type O donors, such as myself. We might be reaching out to you a little more aggressively, okay? Because type O positive is the most used blood. Type O negative is the most universal. If you're in an emergency trauma situation, there's no time to match and search. Give me O negative now. This patient's life is on the line. So we want to make sure there's O negative donors and O positive donors donating regularly. Once again, though, we need all types all the time. But right now we are kind of experiencing a shortage of O's. But yes, as you mentioned, we need our blood drives to look like our communities.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
A certain ethnicity should not be the main donors all the time. We want all communities to donate, because every ethnicity has certain markers in their blood with their ethnicity called antigens.
Okay.
And so specifically with sickle cell disease, we need that to match, because you build up, if a sickle cell patient, which is primarily an African American disease, if they can receive my blood a few times, then they build up a resistance, and they can't after a while. It has to be the exact match. So we need, whether Latino Americans, Asian Americans, Middle Eastern Americans, European Americans like you and I, we need our blood drives to mirror our communities and the population's breakdowns of our communities. So.
And I'm sure that's a big, it's probably an opportunity to get the word out there, but it's probably a big challenge for you, like I said, because in my head, before we started doing the blood drive, it was just so broad.
Right.
Donate blood, it saves lives. That sounds great.
Right.
But yeah, then when you get into specific types of blood, building a resistance, I never knew until we had lunch the other day that was even a thing. Yep. I just thought, well, if somebody needs blood, they get blood. But it's matching blood types. It's,
you can match the blood type for a while, but certain diseases, and then this is the big thing with sickle cell disease, the antigen, it has to be an exact match after a few, because a sickle cell patient, they could have dozens of the only cure is a blood transfusion, which can be a very simple inpatient process, just going to, but if they keep doing that to not the exact match, once again, they build up a resistance to that, and they won't, after a while that it won't work. The body won't accept it. So, but yeah, it's, and the reasons for that, the disparities in communities, there's historic reasons, mistrust, healthcare disparities, why certain groups donate more than others. But we're working. In fact, that's our number one priority, is to make it look like our communities. Our sickle cell initiative is probably our main objective nationally right now.
Gotcha.
And it's simple. If we know someone of color, or know someone from another nationality, we talk about it. That's all you can do. Yeah. Hey, this is why we need you. And we have a lot of great sickle cell information out there. But most of our accounts, and I'll go to maybe a lot of rural counties, maybe predominantly Caucasian populations, I'll say, if you know one person of color, please invite them to donate blood and tell them why. Yeah. Why it's very important, or from another nationality. So it's just about talking about it and constantly once again, 30,000 units a day. It's
Yeah.
just constant talk.
Yeah.
It's constant asking. So,
Yeah.
And
Those
you do a great job of that, by the way.
Well, thank you. I mean, that was a big eye opener for me. So that's something I've kind of added to when I, because usually a couple months before the blood drive, I'm really fortunate that a lot of real estate offices and different places will let me come in and talk to a group about,
Sure.
this year and what we're doing. And so that's something I've been able to add this year to talk about that a little bit, just so it's amazing getting educated as you go through it and then being able to share that information as well, because it kind of grows and, gives you something else to share with them besides just, hey, this is what's, of course, our main cause is honoring Ryan.
Yeah, sure.
But
sure.
It's all about making an impact.
Right.
So if we can make that impact bigger and we learn something that's going to help, I mean, that's what we're all about.
Yeah, your event happens at the most needy time of year. So we thank you, number one, for going in the summer.
Yeah.
Because that is our toughest time.
Sure.
But yeah, you're the committee, the event you've made around that to get 125 to 130 people and more like you do every year is a phenomenal accomplishment. I must give kudos to you, because to get that much blood in one setting is very efficient and it fills a lot of need. Now, granted, there's, the bigger the blood drive is, it could be risky because you're putting a lot of your marbles in one basket, for lack of a better term. But you've always hit goal, come through. There has been, sometimes it's risky to do a huge event and it fall flat because of that. That's a lot of lost blood. But,
Sure.
Never happened in your case, but it is. You've done a spectacular job of making that a great event. When I'm in town, and I can't. It's always on a Saturday, so when I'm in town, I can attend. I usually do, and it's wonderful. So thank you.
Well, we appreciate that a lot. A lot of people to thank for that. So a lot of people come together and make it happen. So not to go backwards, but I kind of skipped over. So how did you get involved in the Red Cross? Was it just a job you applied for randomly, or kind of how did you come to be?
So at age 50, so at age 49. I'd lost my job in a previous industry.
Okay.
And just had my resume out there searching, and they reached out to me because it's nothing I never thought of. I've always been in sales and marketing, kind of outside sales and marketing, covering first job 5 states, and then second job 3 states, and then my third job covered just 7, 8 to 10 counties. But yeah, they kind of reached out to me, and I a little leery at first because a nonprofit, I would think, but then they explained the job to me, and it was the best decision I've ever made. And
cool.
13 years now, the bottom line is so better for me. I mean, it's such a more impactful bottom line.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with for-profit companies. I'm not knocking for, most companies, you provide a valuable service. A lot of companies do, but this one just, to me is, dealing with people like you. I mean, that's rewarding. Prior I dealt with purchasing managers and general managers, presidents, and different industries. Just dealing with volunteers is a different, there's pros and cons to it.
I'm sure.
But the pros far outweigh the cons in my book. You're dealing with people that are doing stuff from their heart and just passion. Most people that I deal with are full of passion, which is, I'm kind of that way too. So that's they kind of found me.
Yeah,
I was
very
looking,
cool.
but it wasn't. But best gig I've ever had by far. Going 13 years now. So
I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't even ask you about, other things that have to do with the gig. So I understand you're a little bit of a musician.
A little bit. So Red Cross, day job, wannabe rock star on weekends and night. I do moonlight as a working band. Most of our work is up in Indiana. So I travel a couple hours north usually to play, only because that's where our market is. We're kind of a tri-state, Evansville, Indiana tri-state act.
Very cool.
And, down here in Nashville, it's pretty thick down here. So not.
Oh, there's music in Nashville, huh?
Yeah. I just can't get the band to play Broadway for tips and union scale. They're just
Gotcha.
nah, we're good. Because my other 3 musicians do live up there. So
Gotcha.
I'm the only one down here. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's a great way to release. Great, moonlight job. I love it. I've been doing, always, this act I'm in has been together We are in our 42nd year of existence. So
that's
started
phenomenal.
when I was back in college at Indiana University, and somehow we're still together. So
Yeah.
we've got a lot of great chemistry, big local following up in that market.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's fun to go play to a packed club and have and feel the energy.
I bet.
But I do. There are similarities. I mean, booking gigs and booking blood drives.
Yeah.
You got to be passionate in both things.
Yeah.
Or people will see it and they'll
Probably have events that are a huge success and events that you're like,
yeah.
how come not as many people showed up tonight or today or whatever the case is,
Yeah, exactly. And usually those events that a lot of that are private events, we get paid a lot more because it's not the raw energy of a packed bar or nightclub. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's there are energetic gigs and flat gigs.
Yeah.
Just like blood drives.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
So when you were talking about the passion stuff, I think it'd be interesting, maybe off the top of your head you recall something, but do you have any kind of story that's just like, that showed like what the real, difference that Red Cross can make through blood donation that you've really got to experience over the years?
A lot of my family members have needed blood and surgery. I've come from I'm one of 5 boys. My father's still with us at age 90, and he had a bout of bladder cancer a few years ago. But really, I must admit, I didn't start until becoming working here that I really kicked in the donations. I'm at 405 units now.
Wow.
So I donate a lot of platelets 24, 25 times a year.
Okay.
So I do want to make up for a lot of lost time. Kind of a selfish pig the first, 20, 30 years of my life, I'll admit,
Yeah.
a lot of us guys are, right? So, but no, I do, it was more just seeing, learning about this business and to me, that said, this is such an easy way to have such a powerful impact,
Sure.
The way I, for lack of a word, sell it to people. Hey, write us a check. Well, the Red Cross will take your money, your blood, or your time. Okay, that's what we want, right? So, but no, this is easy.
Yeah,
it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah,
come out to Give Life for Ryan blood drive. About an hour of your time.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna walk into a life-saving party. Your event is so fun. You got music, you got energy, tons of great people.
Yeah.
You besides the $15 gift card and the free A1 testing you get from us, you put together another little goodie package. That's awesome.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with it. And it, like you were talking about the impact of it, we started out, wanting to do something impactful and honor Ryan, and we've we had the first couple blood drive. We looked at all the donations and we're like, oh man, and that times 3 possibility of saving that many lives. These numbers are incredible. And then it turned into something, areas of it that we didn't see coming, where people sat down and told us stories.
Yep.
So once, first year or two, we had so many people that we knew personally that came, and then they would tell people, and then people just saw on the Red Cross website what was going on. And so then these different stories developed that just, I had no idea the impact it would have. And that's where I really went, okay, when I think back on a personal level in our family, I'm like, I know we're doing the right thing. Because some of these people that tell us stories the day of the blood drive that I'm just like, had no idea what was going on behind the scenes. Somebody that Ryan might have impacted, somebody that our blood drive impacted and they shared with somebody else, and now they come regularly. So that kind of stuff was what I had never intended, didn't know, but makes me so passionate about it.
Yeah, and this is for people, gosh, I count 62% of our population is in the U.S. is eligible to donate. Only 3% do, though. 3%. So that's,
wow.
I encounter, my job is to take those other, so let's just say 7% of the whole population, but take the other 59% who can donate, which is a lot of people.
Sure.
And tell them, it is kind of an event-driven activity. So somebody, I never thought about it until I saw my friend in a car wreck, and he needed 30 units, and I was standing by his bedside to save his life.
Yeah.
And thinking about where that blood comes from. A lot of people, I hear a lot of that. I have a cancer in my family.
Sure.
And I know, this is what I wanted. Why? So it is kind of an event-driven gift or donation.
Yeah.
But you're right that those personal stories are what drives people to think about it.
Yeah.
Because they don't think
about it.
They just don't think about
Yeah.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
Red Cross has plenty of blood. They don't
Yep.
need mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're taken care of. The blood's already there. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not there.
Yeah.
It lasts 42 days, and in summer it gets critical. We want to keep 5 days supply minimum on hand.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that gets down to a day or two supply.
That's scary.
It's very scary.
Yeah.
And so that's the aggressive calls that we make to people and reaching out. It's not trying to sell you anything. It's really trying to.
I have said that a few times though. I have said that my mortgage team needs to take a lead from Red Cross, because they will reach out to you. Yeah. They will text, they will email, and they will call. Yep. They are consistent, which I'm sure is why the brand is so big. But I mean, it's true. I tell people all the time, it's okay to tell them, you're giving out our drive or whatever, and they reach out to you if you can or you can't. But they are going to call you, and and we've had another experience we've had. So I've had a couple people that their first time ever donating was 9 years ago at our blood drive.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they've never stopped. They go regularly through the year, or they come there. So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff. It's like, the one event, and we get to remember Ryan, and that's so special to us. But it's developed into so much more. And the need, like you were talking about, because Ryan was born, he had AB negative blood.
Right.
Not the most common.
One of the rarest.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I think 1 in 167 people have that blood.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when we were at Vanderbilt Hospital, 1994, so everybody's like, the doctor's like, you're really lucky that you're here,
Right.
just to have it on hand. We didn't have a lot of time and got him blood right away. So, I mean, it ties in and makes so much sense why we thought about doing it. And it's so great because we got those 21 years because somebody donated blood, had that on the shelf at Vanderbilt, and it was good, and we were good to go. So, feel really lucky for that. And I'm just blown away, though. I got sidetracked by 3%.
Yeah.
Or even 7% total. That's just what a challenge that is. And I mean, I'm sure there's a list of reasons. Is fear the biggest one, or like you talked about, they've got plenty of blood?
Good question. Fear and apathy, but fear is our biggest obstacle.
Yeah.
It is. I go to high schools and I teach blood education for a whole day at many of our high schools that I cover.
Yeah.
Where I'll come in as a guest speaker, usually a science teacher, but it can. I've had a history teacher here and there that runs the blood drive, but basically science related. And that's the main topic, because 16, 17-year-olds, and especially fear in minority communities, runs deeper. Pardon my French. Hell no, you're not sticking no needle in me. Or, that's
right.
The first thing is they hold their arms and heck no, and it just sometimes I get a little you get a little impatient, but you got to understand this is think about yourself back at that age, or you got. It's really just about, well, let me tell you, I understand your fear, and that's okay, but I want you to hear me here, okay? Hear me here. And I usually at that time, I'll pull my app out and show, folks, I don't like needles either. I'm a little bit afraid of them too, but these 405 units, you know what I do? I distract myself, because it's over with before you know it.
It is.
5 to 7 minutes, whatever, that needle's in your arm. Have your friend talk to you during that.
Yeah.
And I'll pinch their arm. That's how much it hurts.
Yeah.
A little pinch. I mean, this is all between your ears. It's that 6 inches of space up there that you've got it, that you think that needle, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
And have your phone, have a book. I've seen people, but use distraction.
Yeah.
But have your buddy who's done it before, and that's another thing. Talk to your fellow student who's done it.
Yeah.
He's still here. He's happy he's going to do it again.
Yeah.
Ask his experience. Usually it's, and I do a lot of very direct talking to students, because I'm, that's the important, we've got to, folks, there's our loyal donors that'll always be loyal.
Yeah.
But they're, as they get older, they're not going to be in the pool anymore. We have to, our most important function, to me, my most important function is the education section, high schools, colleges. getting people to start doing it at that age and do it the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And fear, you're right. That's the biggie. Distraction is the main obstacle. So just the other thing I kind of guilt them into is you're afraid of needles. Think of the fear on the other side, on the other end of your donation.
That's a great point.
What do you think about mom standing over her child at St. Jude with cancer? Do you think she's afraid?
Yeah.
You think she's afraid? Now think about your fear of needles. I want you to compare those fears. Kind of put your fear into perspective. I kind of guilt them into it, and it works. You know, they might not admit it, but the fear on the other end of your donation's real fear. Yeah. Yours is some, and I understand phobias. I don't. Sure. I don't skydive, or I don't like heights. But fear of needles really is, I think trypanophobia is what it's called. But you can very easily overcome it by just having, and at your drive, I've seen your young helpers stand by the bed and talk them through it. That's
distraction is by far the best. And like you said, I mean, it is, that's a great perspective to think about. Where you're talking about saving lives all the time, saving lives. Well, look at whose life you're saving. Think about those people that are going through that with a kid, or that's a tremendous.
I call that real fear.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And I've also heard, I don't know if I've ever even asked you about this, but I've also heard we talked about, people that need blood, but for a, typically healthy person, blood donation can be a healthy thing.
Yeah.
From the medical side.
Yeah, there can be benefits to, for some reason, lowering your iron levels. There are, and I didn't bring my talking points, but the health benefits to blood are a lot of things that have to relate to leveling your iron levels out, stress levels, blood pressure situations. But yeah, there are, and I urge people to just Google health benefits to donating blood.
Sure.
We're giving you a mini physical. Mm-hmm. So you're going to learn what your blood pressure is. You're going to learn what your pulse is. Yeah. We're going to take your temperature, and we're going to give you your hemoglobin and your iron levels. So those are important things to know. Yeah. But all that goes on your app. So I after I was deferred 2 or 3 times, I got on blood pressure medicine. And maybe I'll try weight loss medicine too, because I think that would correct itself. but no. So you want to know? It reminds me constantly of where my health measurements are, and the barometer is. So most certainly.
And kind of the free information and fear of needles goes in. So there's a little something new recently with Red Cross. So you've got the needle in your arm, but they do the finger stick.
Yeah, very
normally,
good point. So we no longer give you the finger prick for testing your iron and hemoglobin. It's a little ring you stick your thumb in, and it's so. I always. The needle stick in the finger hurt me a lot more than the needle in the arm.
It kind of stings.
It does.
It kind of stings for a second.
When we started that, people were like, "Oh, great, that's great." But so we do the blood pressure. We put the blood pressure cuff on and your thumb in the ring, so we're testing your iron and blood pressure at the same time. Yeah, it's a much more efficient process. But no more finger prick for the iron step. So it's
very cool.
Yeah, very very big step forward for us. Most certainly.
Yeah,
most certainly.
Well, and anybody that is worried about that, feel free to come by our blood drive. It's actually going to be August 2nd. So not too far from now, a couple Saturdays from now. We still got a few slots left. Right. So we're really excited, but we're looking forward to having another great drive.
About how many slots you have left?
About 25.
Okay, great. Yeah. So you filled quite a few. Yeah. And I'm sure you'll fill those. And a lot of people, they are, most people do donate. A lot of people donate 2 or 3 days out, they're scheduling their appointment.
Absolutely.
And so, but we keep pushing. I'm sure that'll be full. And I know that we look forward to your event every year. And it is at least in my territory, it's the event of the summer.
We appreciate that a lot. We appreciate it a lot. And I'm being a model today as well. So this is the shirt that we give everybody that comes out. This one's white. We've got a new color this year. We change the color every year. So, back to kind of some of that cool stuff. I had a family, there's like 6 of them that come and donate and started, and they give throughout the year now, which is phenomenal. But last year, they all showed up and everybody had a different year shirt on.
Oh, wow.
So there's a family with 6 different years with the shirts. Just,
I think
cool,
I have
fun
the black
stuff.
one with white lettering. Is that right?
That's the very first one.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll get you one this year.
Yep,
Make
cool.
sure you get all that good stuff. But so anything you kind of want to leave us with, obviously best place to go if somebody wants to just look up and look to donate or, read more, any of that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah, it's easy to find a blood drive in your area. You just go to redcrossblood.org. When you go there in the upper right corner, you'll either plug your zip code in, which is easy, and all the open to the public blood drives will come up. You'll usually have multiple. If you plug in a Murfreesboro zip code, you're going to see our fixed site, which is on Memorial Boulevard. That's the 5-day-a-week. It's like a doctor's office going in to donate blood. It's where you come into us, and then you're going to see your drive too on August 2nd.
And the place on Memorial, not to interrupt you, but that's the place that I go throughout the year most of the time. So I mean, they're great facility.
Yeah.
And the same thing as our blood drive, it's kind of in and out. It's very easy to.
And I want to know that for your blood drive, which is a big event, it might not be the quickest donation.
Sure.
But most people, we want you to know that, your event is a community event and with a lot of people and a lot of fun and a lot of socializing. It's a community engagement thing. It might not be like going to Memorial. You're not in and out in 30 to 45 minutes. So beware. I mean, go to, and I think your sponsor code, is it, I forgot what it was. Give Life.
Yeah, I think it's just Give Life for Ryan.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, but
it pops up.
Yeah, it pops up. Just plug in your zip code. Your facilities, the Fountains at Gateway.
Absolutely.
Is that what it's called? Yeah. Beautiful venue for a blood drive. Cool place. And, just find a donation and find a blood drive by just going to redcrossblood.org, putting your zip code in, and just think about. I just say, folks, if you're a believer in karma, if you just want to do something good that is so easy and doesn't cost you anything, and most times you're gonna get we either get about a gift card or a T-shirt or a hat, or I think it was sunglasses, this cool Red Cross. We're always giving out a little promo item. But really you're given the gift of life. And it's the best feeling in the world for me. It just, and I tell young students at high schools, if you're not into sports or clubs or get involved with the school. If everything else going on around you in school maybe not your thing, get involved with the school blood drive. It can. I've seen students really take ownership that are maybe marginal students or just don't. They're not big into sports or whatever. But they do this, and it really gives them purpose, and it's a beautiful thing. I mean, you save a lot of lives, and your drive saves several hundred lives plus. Every year, and you add that up over 9 years. You've this is your 9th year, I believe.
Yes, sir.
So you're saving thousands of lives, literally. So
pretty awesome. So, well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So much for supporting us so much, taking our calls, our texts, meeting with us, making sure we're on track, getting everything scheduled.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
Cool. Hey guys, appreciate you joining us today. Real quick, the blood drive this year is August 2nd, which is a couple Saturdays from now. We've still got some slots left. You can check out the Facebook page, Give Life for Ryan, or you can go to www.givelifeforryan.com. There's links to sign up there, as well as the Red Cross. So looking forward to a great event, and thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time.